What's up guys, it's BD here, and this is the review of the Streak65 from Fnatic. If you guys remember, I covered their mini Streak, their TKL version of this keyboard a while back, and I was very impressed with their overall quality and the feel while using that keyboard. So I imagine this will be a nice follow-up to that. They're getting with the trends now. They're going even smaller now with this 65% layout. Not only is the size of the keyboard smaller, but they've also made a few changes to the switches and the keycaps as well. So we're going to take a look and see if those changes paid off or was it a mistake. Taking a look at the build quality of this keyboard, it's got those same rounded, smooth edges, very comfortable to type and game on. It's very lightweight, it's 402 grams, and to put that into perspective, a Ducky 1-2 Mini is 588 grams, so that should tell you just how light this keyboard is. And because of that, it's going to be an amazing travel keyboard, especially if you're going to tournaments or if you're just somebody that goes to work. On the backside, they have this little attachment here where you can put another plate on there. It would be cool if they had like a little customizer on their website where you can make one of these and they can ship it to you and you can just put it along the back here. That would be pretty cool. Something to think about, Fnatic. And on the back left side, you're going to find the USB-C port there as well. Flipping the keyboard over, you're going to have 4 mouse feet on the bottom. Since this is a very light keyboard, you can move this thing a lot. You can only do so much. They do a pretty good job, but since it's so light, there's nothing to really keep it planted like on some other keyboards. You've also got the kickstand feet if this is just too straight and flat for you, so it gives you a little bit of height there at a 90-degree angle. It's got an open case design, so RGB is going to be flowing out from this keyboard and it gets fairly bright. The only downside to that is sound is going to be escaping, so it's a give and take. You get RGB, but you get a little bit more sound because of this open casing design. Overall, the build quality is in line with what we saw in the mini Streak. Now, also, there's a little bit of creaking when you do kind of move the keyboard, but nothing to be alarmed with. There's barely any flex on this keyboard as well, even for its small and tiny size, which is pretty impressive. And I gotta say, the form factor of this case is pretty insane, as it's about the same size as a Ducky 1-2 Mini, and you're getting the 65% layout here. My favorite layout, because you're gonna get the arrow keys, you're gonna have those buttons along the side if you want to program or assign new keys to those, so you get more functionality out of a 65% than you do a 60%. So these keycaps are still sadly ABS keycaps, meaning they probably will shine over time. There are varying qualities of ABS, like I've always said. There's like the GMK, which is like top dog, even better than PBT for some people. And then you've got some that are really bad and shine over time, like the old Corsair keyboards. And I feel like these keycaps are in the middle. You'll get a lot of use out of these ABS keycaps before they start to shine, but it's inevitable. It's gonna happen. If I were to give Fnatic some advice, I would tell them to just throw some PBT keycaps on here. It's an easy way to just be ahead of the competition right now, because not every company has switched over to it. I think like Razer's doing it, Ducky's doing it, but not everybody, not the mainstream keyboards. So that would just put you ahead of 99% of the competition right now, and it's an easy fit. One small thing that they did that really stood out to me is that they put the function key and the control key together like they always are, but on the underside they actually put the pause or play button right next to it on the function layer on the control, meaning you just have to hit like a double like that to pause and play your song. Really easy, really simple. They could have easily put the skip track there or skip forward. Another small thing that they did that I really like is when you plug in this keyboard, the Fnatic name actually lights up within the keycaps. Nothing crazy, but I just thought that was really cool when I first plugged it in. I was wondering like what's going on, and I looked and I kind of spelled it out. I was like, oh, it's spelling Fnatic. One other change that you guys might notice is this is now a low profile design, meaning you're gonna have low profile switches and keycaps. And I know I'm gonna get this question, can you put normal cherry profile keycaps on here? The answer is you can, but it's gonna hit that base plate. It's gonna feel very awkward, so just stick with the low profile. I don't know if there's any third-party keycaps for low profile. I'll have to check on that and get back to you guys, but as of now you're kind of stuck with what they give you on this keyboard. So next up, let's talk about these new low profile switches from Fnatic. They're orange, of course, and they have a 45 gram actuation force. The actuation point is 1 millimeter and the travel distance is 3.2 millimeters. So not only is the actuation point high up, which is really good for gaming at 1 millimeters, but the travel distance is also really low at 3.2 millimeters, whereas a normal cherry MX switch is around 4 millimeters. So you're gaining a little bit of time by bottoming out really fast and then raising the key. Our brains register a key press when we bottom out. Most people, I say like 99% of people, bottom out when they type. And that's why they are calling these the fastest switch out on the market right now at 1 millimeter actuation and total travel distance at 3.2. As in, once you bottom out, it's going to register and then you're going to raise it up before the person with the OmniPoint switch goes down and bottoms out. This does take some time to get used to though, as you bottom out really quick compared to the Cherry MX style switches that we've seen in the past. And after about a week of using it, I still have not gotten used to it. It's going to take me a long time to unlearn just the whole travel distance of a regular Cherry MX switch. Where this keyboard excels, just like the other fast keyboards out there, is strafing, jiggle peaking, counter strafing, all that good stuff is going to be really good with this keyboard. Tracking long distances and making long distance shots are going to be really good with the strafe keys on these, because as you know, from those long distances, you're going to be using your keyboard and kind of moving with your target instead of actually using your mouse to make big strokes. So that's where a good keyboard can come in handy. Those are just some of the benefits that I can think of off the top of my head. These are silent switches as well, and if you guys are familiar with silent switches and the characteristics that they carry, they're very thocky. They have a kind of muted sound to them, and these are no different. They sound extremely thocky, probably the thockiest stock keyboard that I've tried yet. And another thing that really surprised me is they actually pre-lube the stabilizers. They sound good all the way across. But don't just take my word for it. Let's drop a sound test for you guys right about now. Very impressive. It's nice to see a company really focus on the quality of the stabilizers as well. There's no imbalances, there's no rattling, it doesn't sound cheap, and you gotta appreciate that. In the Fnatic OP software, you can control the RGB with some different modes. They also have a reactive mode as well in there. You can change some macros in the software as well. I like to put something along my home row on the right side of the keyboard, just so I have even more control. You can choose to pull up an app. So I have like Spotify as number 1, or if you want to put Apple Music as number 2, you can do that. The Fnatic OP software is still kind of in a beta status, so it's a little bit bare, but it gets the job done for now. So for $110, this is a solid offering from Fnatic. The one downside of this keyboard is the keycaps, and it's gonna make people who buy this keyboard feel like they didn't get a good deal. After a few months, when it starts to shine, people aren't gonna be happy. And I wish they would have just went with PBT on here, just so people can hammer those. It's still gonna look brand new. You'll just have a bunch of happy customers overall. Instead, they leave themselves open to criticism, as people might go back and be like, oh, my keycaps are shining. It's a great keyboard, but XYZ. And there's no real keycaps to really replace these right now from a third party. So you're kind of stuck with this as is. Overall, it's very comfortable to type on. I didn't feel like I typed any faster with that lower travel distance though. I got the same scores on 10 fast fingers. So that's that. I do see this being an advantage though in gaming for strafing, like I said, and long distance shots. So yeah, Fnatic, good offering, but it could have been better. All right, guys, it has been your boy BT. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.